Well, welcome to another episode of Dark Dialogue Shadow Chat Sessions, the show where Angela and I just do a bunch of wacky shit and don't take anything too damn seriously. So we hope you're doing great tonight, and I wish my computer would work because that would help me tremendously. So Angela, why don't you
just gonna continue talking until he gets the computer to work right.
How about Angela, you start talking while I figure out what the hell is going on.
I don't know. Should I tell them that today is National UFO Day?
Sure, it's a perfect time.
I learned that on the radio this morning, and I'm going to be looking. I don't know that they show up for their National Day, but I don't know that invitations were sent either. And if not, how rude.
Somehow I suspect that they don't give a shit, but that's just my guess.
I'm just saying, if we give them a National Day and we don't send them invitations, rude. It's just rude.
Yeah, but it's all it is a day of unidentified flying objects.
This is true.
So where the hell do you send that an invitation if it's unidentified?
I don't know. Thank you.
To drop it in the Bermuda Triangle?
Red.
See what happens?
We drop it all the places.
Interesting concept.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Drop it into the cosmos. All the weird places.
Okay.
Take one to Winchester Mystery House. They'll get somewhere.
I'll leave that up to you. You can go drop invitations into the Bermuda Triangle.
I am not dropping it in the Bermuda Triangle.
You can take it to the Winchester Mystery House. If you go to the Winchester Mystery House, though, I think I'll have to go with you.
I think we will.
Check that place.
Pilgrimage.
Yeah, for sure.
I've wanted to go to that place for years.
Yeah, me too. I would dig that. That'd be cool. So, I suppose we should mention it on this show. We've got a lot of things going on here at Dark Dialogue. So we've created the Dark Dialogue Podcast Network where we house all of our shows. So
because John's not busy enough, he's got to just keep doing stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's wrong with me, but a lot.
We're going to have him tested. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm afraid to find out the results of that test. But anyway. So we've got the podcast network where you can continue to listen to your shows the same way that you always have. But I've also created additional independent shows for each one of our shows. So we've got, this show, Dark Dialogue Shadow Chat Sessions, has its own channel. Dark Dialogue, the main show, Dark Dialogue Rocky Mountain Reckoning. And then a new show that we've done called Dark Dialogue Distilled, where we just take our traditional Dark Dialogue episodes and distill them down to about a 1 hour long episode. So you can either listen on the main podcast network show and just catch everything that we have coming out, which obviously is our preference. We want you to hear everything we have to say. But if you want to just binge a particular show, then you have that luxury as well. You can hop onto that channel and just binge everything that we have to say on any particular channel. So with that, I think we're ready to get started.
The computer cooperates.
The computer did cooperate.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, but so far so good.
It has checked in for work. Got it.
So this is the second one now where I've cut out the news headlines. So, and you're liking this a little bit better?
Yeah, the news headlines are a little too
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's why we did this. So
yeah.
With that, let's jump into our strange headline segment.
I love it.
So first up, we have man robs Waffle House armed with a pitchfork. And I really debated whether this goes in the dipshit diaries or the strange headline, but that headline, it was just strange enough to win its place.
What's
here.
the name of that picture of the two guys?
Oh, I know which one. Yeah, it's a.
I just picture her.
It's Norman Rockwell.
Yeah, I just picture her standing there alone now because he's off
robbing a Waffle House. So, in Norcross, Georgia, a man tried to rob a Waffle House with a pitchfork. After threatening staff and stabbing a trash can, he fled the scene but was arrested shortly after, weapon and all. So, The details, according to the Gwinnett County Police Department, Jeffrey Willard Wooten entered a Waffle House in Norcross, Georgia, wielding a pitchfork and attempting to rob the establishment. Witnesses say Wooten was aggressive and chaotic, forcing staff and patrons to flee for safety. At some point during the altercation, Wooten began stabbing a garbage can, possibly to prove a point or maybe just because it looked at him wrong. He then fled the scene, but police located him nearby and arrested him. The pitchfork was recovered, and thankfully, no one was injured, except perhaps the trash can's dignity. My take? You've got to be on a very specific wavelength of chaos to wake up, grab a pitchfork, and say, hey, I'm going to rob a Waffle House today. This man didn't just challenge society, he challenged sanitation. I'm guessing this wasn't about money. This was personal. The real victim here, Georgia's PR department.
I have 2 questions.
Hit me. I probably don't have answers.
Is the garbage can pressing charges?
Hopefully, but it wasn't mentioned.
And have you ever wanted carbs that bad?
Never. I've never wanted Waffle House that bad. Matter of fact, and then I'll probably get booed for this, but I typically avoid Waffle House at all costs.
I don't think I've ever had the opportunity.
So my experience, and I do think it's a little bit different in the South, but at least up here in the Northwest, Waffle Houses are typically located in the shady area right off of the interstate.
Oh.
And they're just not the nicest establishments.
Gotcha.
So
that would be why I have not. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I've definitely always avoided them. So
gotcha.
Do you think that the trash can knew too much? Is this the first recorded instance of a witness intimidation by a garden tool?
Sadly, no. I would like to know what the trash can knew.
And I'd like to know what the trash can
and who's going to represent it.
Yeah.
You know, because we can't gender specific the trash can. So
this is true.
I'd like to know what it did. What does it know? Where do we go from here?
If Waffle House had a loyalty program, which I'm sure they probably do, would you get extra points for surviving a pitchfork standoff?
I think you should get double punch cards.
I think you should get a free meal like instantly for being robbed in a Waffle House.
Everybody's free. Here's a punch card.
Any restaurant for that matter. Yeah. I don't care where it is. If you get robbed while you're a patron in any establishment, I think you should get a freebie for it.
Everything. Yep.
Yes. So can we start giving these incidents wrestling style names? Like this one feels like the Battle of Biscuit Bayonet Boulevard.
Yes, we have to.
Okay, great.
That's necessary now.
I think it is. I think it's very fitting.
Yes.
All right.
Waffles wild now.
There you have it. Yes. So now we have the conspiracy corner.
Okay.
The government
currently sitting in the conspiracy corner.
You pretty much live in the conspiracy corner over there. So the government controls weather with HAARP, and they're not even subtle about it. You look confused like you haven't heard of this.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
So a long-standing conspiracy theory claims that the U.S. government is manipulating the weather using a massive Alaskan research facility called HAARP. Believers say it's responsible for everything from hurricanes to earthquakes and possibly even your cousin's bad hair day. So the details, HAARP, which stands for the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, is located in Gakona, Alaska, and was created by the U.S. Air Force and Navy in 1993 to study the ionosphere. It uses powerful radio transmitters to bounce signals off the upper atmosphere, but conspiracy theorists argue that HAARP is secretly a weather weapon, blaming it for events like Hurricane Katrina, the 2010 Haiti earthquake, and various droughts or cold snaps worldwide. They claim its electromagnetic energy can steer storms, trigger earthquakes, or even control mines. The facility was officially transferred to the University of Alaska Fairbanks in 2015 and now runs public tours, which naturally is seen as a distraction tactic by the tinfoil hat crowd. My take? This is either the worst kept secret in history or the most misinterpreted science project since alchemy. If HAARP is controlling the weather, they're doing a terrible job, because I still got hail damage and a sunburn on the same damn day. I'm just saying, if we've got a $1 billion rain button, someone clearly spilled Monster Energy on that control panel. So,
are they responsible for the snow we got in the Bighorns this last weekend?
you know, I gotta be completely honest with you. I poke fun at it, but there's a part of me that does believe in weather manipulation, and that it is a reason that we're seeing some of the abnormal shit that we're seeing right now. So I don't know that it's HAARP necessarily, but I am not convinced that they're not doing some shit that's causing bad stuff to happen.
Yeah.
But
Opening tombs in Egypt.
what's that?
I said opening tombs in Egypt.
Yeah, I don't know about that part, but
Did you guys hear his eyes roll? Just let me know.
should have. I mean, you know, I think that, like, I know that cloud seeding and shit like that is real. I know that they've been playing with manipulating the weather at least since like the 40s. And when the government gets involved in some shit like that and spends billions of dollars on it, they don't just drop it. So it will not surprise me.
HAARP ruined my cousin's wedding, huh? With the bad hair day?
Potentially. I mean,
Damn it.
Jesse Ventura, you know who Jesse Ventura is? He was like a big time on this kick.
Really?
Oh, very much so. He was 100% convinced that HAARP was manipulating the weather.
Interesting.
Yep. So if HAARP is real, as far as its weather manipulation, because HAARP is real, but it's weather manipulation, who's using it to sabotage your weekend plans, and why is it always Karen from HR?
I was just about to say that. It's work. It's your boss.
Yep. So is the weather machine theory just a cover story for failed meteorologists trying to feel powerful again?
I would imagine that is probably right up there.
I mean,
Meteorologists are getting a bad name right about now.
weather is getting a bad name.
I know.
Some of the shit that has happened. I mean,
I know.
and people blame it on, and this is, I'm sure we're going to get nasty emails for this, but people blame it on the whole climate change shit and all this and that, but I don't think it has anything to do with it. But there is some weird shit going on as far as the weather goes.
I don't want to get too deep into this, but I'm going to throw it out there because it's on my brain. I do know, and you probably do too, a handful of people who believe it's the indications of the second coming.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. I mean, my feeling on it is quite simply, I think every generation has seen the signs of the end times.
Yeah.
I know that the apostles...
I mean, we're being terrified in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
So
I know that the apostles, after the death of Christ, thought that they were going to experience the second coming. So it's gone back now for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
So I have a really hard time, and I have fallen for it a few times in my life where I've been like, Y2K, this is it. Yep. All the computers are going to forget how to change the date. Everything's going to collapse. Oh, I was on that train.
You?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I sat up that night and just waited for the end of the world, which didn't come.
Dang.
So after feeling like an asshat 2 or 3 times in my life, I'm a little bit more reserved and a little bit more like, well, wait and see. I mean,
Let's find out.
I definitely am the kind of person that stays prepared. I do have a bug out bag. I do have food storage. I do have things in place in case I need them. But I gave up guessing because, and it's so funny. I don't know if you ever watched Doomsday Preppers.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
So it's funny because every Doomsday Prepper has their own thing that's going to destroy the world, you know? And I always laugh at that show because it's like that you watch one episode and this person's preparing for the biological event, the next, you know, COVID, whatever, that's going to wipe everybody out. And then you watch the next episode and it's going to be nuclear war or whatever. And everybody's preparing for their thing. But if they're wrong, they're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
They've just blown all their money buying suits for biological warfare or whatever. And so I definitely take more of the all the above approach. Like I try to be ready in case any bad shit happens and not focus on any one particular one, because the one thing I do know and have learned in my life is the second that you think you know what's going to happen in the future, you're about to get a terrible surprise.
Future says, hold my beer.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about every one of those episodes is some of those bunkers are cool as shit.
Oh, man.
And I want to hang out in some of them just to get away from it all.
So there's a band.
Somebody come build me one just so I can hide for a little while.
So there's
a vacation bunker.
There's an abandoned nuclear, there's several abandoned nuclear silos in Nebraska.
That are Airbnbs now.
Well, I don't know about the Airbnb part, but they're,
I want to go.
They have turned them into, at least some of them were turned into like multi-million-dollar condos.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, these things are freaking, they're like $6 million or some shit to buy one. Yep. But they're full on stocked, ready to go, move in ready to your new. Mm-hmm. Problem is they're like multi-million-dollar things, so yeah, I can't afford one of those.
And they're all in Nebraska.
Second problem is they're in Nebraska. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they built them and now they're using them as Airbnbs because they couldn't sell them. Maybe that's what happened.
I have seen, I'll share it with you. I've seen a video of some travel people I watch because I live vicariously through people sometimes.
Right.
But I don't like planes. Some of the planes I've seen them on, I would try. But, yeah, they stayed in one. I want to.
And did you ever hear of the Citadel up in Idaho?
Mm-mm.
I believe that it's defunct. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I believe that it's defunct. But what it was this kind of a cool concept. These people were trying to build a compound up in northern Idaho where it was going to be like a castle, and you could buy a house inside the castle walls, or you could buy a house outside the castle walls, and your house came like a shell, but you built the interior the way that you wanted it.
With all those people.
And then, well, the whole idea is like end of the world type doomsday, end of the world shit. And they
grab a doctor, you grab a whatever, everybody goes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would live in a community until. Are you gonna let me tell the story? Because I'll have questions.
No.
So,
don't you know this by now?
You get your house, and then I don't know. It comes with like a 2,000-gallon water tank. Comes with an AR-15. Comes with so much food storage, depending on how large your family is. All this stuff. It's a pretty cool idea. And then they were building a factory that would produce AR-15s so you could work in the factory and make money until the end of the world came. Novel idea. I thought it was pretty cool. I think it's defunct. I don't think it really works. Mm-hmm. Things like that never really work. And I'm like you. I don't want to be around a whole bunch of people if shit hits the fan.
Oh.
I'd rather be somewhere off by myself, somewhere obviously with my family, but I don't want to have to worry about a bunch of other people that are going to try to kill me to take what I have. So, yeah. But anyway, totally off subject.
Yeah, it's summer in Cody, so we have some motorcycles outside serenading us.
Yes, we do. All right, so next it's time for the Reddit rabbit hole. I think my neighbor is a time traveler, and I have the pizza receipts to prove it.
Okay.
So, a Reddit user shared a strange series of events involving their neighbor receiving food deliveries before the order was placed, and somehow always knowing when things were about to happen. Naturally, Reddit concluded time traveler. So the details, the post, which first appeared in our Glitch in the Matrix, details how the user repeatedly witnessed their neighbor receiving pizza, Amazon packages, and even prescription meds before they were actually ordered. With timestamp screenshots, one eerie example, the poster placed a pizza order at 6:47 p.m. At 6:39 p.m., the same delivery driver was seen handing a pizza to the neighbor. When asked, the neighbor winked and said, "Great minds think alike, just ahead of schedule." Ha 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 ha. Other oddities included lights flickering before storms, the neighbor avoiding traffic accidents that hadn't yet happened, and once mysteriously predicting a layoff at the user's company. Commenters were divided. Some called it a prank, others suggested psychic powers, but the prevailing theory? Low-key time traveler with very average taste in pizza. My take? If I had time travel powers, I'd be winning the lottery or saving lives, not snipping someone else's pizza by 8 minutes. But hey, maybe the butterfly effect starts with extra pepperoni. Honestly, if the guy predicted my firing and intercepted my stuffed crust, I'd report him to HR and to NASA.
It's just Nostradamus did not live in the era of pizza, and he's just checking it out, man.
Yeah,
That's some story.
If he is a time traveler, why is he using his powers to hoard Little Caesars and ibuprofen?
Well, apparently, because he thought that would be how he wouldn't get caught. But nosy neighbor over there with receipts.
Well, see,
Real bad plan.
that's where I'm at with this. I know exactly what's going on. This one I got solved 100%.
Okay, lay it on me.
So it's exactly what you said. You got this freaking busybody neighbor who apparently is so enthralled with their neighbor that he's watching every move that they make. And I can tell the neighbor, if he like winked at the guy and was like, "Great minds think alike," he's jacking with him.
Yeah.
He's on to this game, and I don't know how he's doing it, but whatever he's doing, he's like, "Oh, I'm jacking with this guy."
If you harness it well.
Oh, yeah, that's what's going on. He's like,
Yep.
"Oh, dude's ordering pizza. I got to order pizza." And his wife's like, "I already made dinner." He's like, "I don't care. I don't even want the pizza. I got it." Wait, I was jacking with this dumbass. We'll eat it tomorrow. That is what's going on here.
I'm
a
whoever you are, write to us because we love it.
Yeah, I am not worthy. It is played so well. But that's what's going on. He is just jacking with his dumbass busybody Karen of a neighbor.
Yep.
That's always in his business, and so he's just turning the joke around on him. That's what I think's going on.
See, this show solves mysteries.
It does. Is all the Reddit users have to do is listen to Dark Dialogue Shadow Chat sessions, and we solve it all.
We solve it all.
But you know what's concerning or interesting, whatever you want to say, is there's groups of people that get together and talk about whether he's a time traveler or not.
I know.
Like, I'm sorry, like the video that we watched of the the old movie. It was a Charlie Chaplin film. The woman on the cell phone. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
These time travel pictures of these people that are, 200 years ago and have a wristwatch. That's intriguing. Yeah. A coincidence of when your pizza arrives?
Yeah.
That's not intriguing. So what's more terrifying? A neighbor who can read your mind or one who always beats your pizza order by 10 minutes?
I would say, dude, order me one too, and I'll just, just place the order together, man.
It's funny, but I lived in a subdivision in Colorado, and I mean, at dinner time, it was like a steady stream of Uber Eats, the Dash one, DoorDash, yeah. And then there's Grubhub. I mean, it was like all those all night long, or through the dinner period from like 5 p.m. until 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. It was just a constant stream of food delivery,
Exactly.
And so I never said, oh my God, my neighbor must be a time traveler because they ordered food the same time I did.
No shit.
Whatever.
10 minutes.
I might say to my driver, like, damn, you guys are busy in this neighborhood tonight or something. Right. But yeah, no conspiracies.
How many times have you been in this neighborhood tonight?
What is my neighbor up to?
Yeah. Did they order before me?
Did they ask you any questions? Did they say anything to you? Poor freaking Uber driver's probably like, this psycho is about to lock me in a closet and tell me to put the lotion on.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Is time traveler just the new excuse for people who are nosy, weirdly punctual, and live on DoorDash?
I guess.
Yeah, that's what I think is going on here.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the Dipshit's Diary.
Dipshit Diaries.
So first up, we have car thief caught after he stopped to fill out a job application at the same dealership. So, a man in California stole a car from a dealership and then came back the same day to apply for a job at the exact dealership. Surveillance footage and a paper trail sealed his fate. So the details. In Modesto, California, 24-year-old Rajai Jarheef Lee swiped a car off a dealership lot. Instead of fleeing town or going incognito, he inexplicably returned hours later and filled out a job application using his real name. Security footage captured him walking into the office after the theft, politely asking for a PIN. Police were called shortly after the dealership noticed the missing car and matched the applicant's identity to their surveillance. Lee was arrested and charged with grand theft auto and outstanding warrants. My take? This is like robbing a bank and then asking if they're hiring for customer service. Hi, I stole your car and your trust, but also I'm a self-starter with strong organizational skills. The only thing grand about this theft was the delusion.
I know there isn't anything to solve in this one, but I've solved it.
Okay, go.
His interview, he did this to say, you clearly need new people, more people, or I couldn't have stolen that car.
You're probably right. If he would have been granted an interview with anybody other than the judge.
That was his intention.
So, should car dealerships start including, did you steal from us earlier?
Yeah.
In their job application?
I mean, they kind of already do. Are you a convicted felon? Is on everybody's application.
You know, it's insane.
What?
When I was in Colorado, they made that shit illegal.
Really?
Yes. It's the most absurd law I've ever heard of, but you cannot ask somebody about their criminal history if you're an employer in Colorado.
Huh.
You can do a background check, but you just can't ask them, which seems insane to me because I used to interview guys and we did extensive background checks, and I would interview people and I would say, we're going to do a background check. I'm going to find out everything about you.
You want to tell me?
Save me the time and the money and just tell me, is there anything that's going to come up that I'm not going to be able to hire you? I didn't see anything wrong with that, but it's now illegal to say that. So now, as a prospective employer, is all that did for you is say, now you have to spend the money to run the background check to find out that you can't hire the son of a bitch, instead of just asking him, hey, are you a dirtbag?
Yeah.
It's insane. But anyway, I digress, as I usually do.
That's the theme.
It is the theme. It's definitely my theme.
That's my theme too.
So what's worse, stealing a car or thinking this was a good career network strategy?
Network strategy.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot more people get away with stealing cars.
And then going back into the store they just robbed? Yeah,
Yes.
I don't think it's very likely you're going to get away with that one.
Was he wearing the same clothes like the dude that...
I don't know, but
Wouldn't that be great?
wouldn't be at all surprised
Yeah.
if he was. If hired, what would his benefit package have included? Free handcuffs and a ride to jail?
Yeah.
I think absolutely.
Windshield washer fluid.
Right? Okay, next we have man tries to steal a live alligator from a zoo and claims it's his emotional support reptile. So, a man was arrested in Florida after breaking into a zoo at night and attempting to smuggle out a live alligator in a duffel bag. His defense? It was his emotional support gator, and the zoo had, quote, no right to keep them apart. So, the bizarre incident happened in St. Augustine Alligator Farm Zoological Park, where 26-year-old Brandon Keith Hatfield was caught on security cameras scaling a fence after hours. He was later found shirtless in a nearby retention pond, bleeding, reeking of booze, and missing his duffel bag. Inside the zoo, keepers discovered a small, dazed alligator in a bag, unharmed, but probably emotionally confused. Hatfield told police that he had a, quote, spiritual bond with the animal and that, quote, society doesn't understand their connection. He was charged with burglary, animal theft, and resisting arrest. My take? Nothing says stable emotional state like shirtless swamp jogging with a stolen gator. Also, if your comfort animal can remove a limb, it's probably not qualified for therapy work. Somewhere in that zoo, there's a very traumatized reptile wondering what he needs support from now. And interestingly...
The guy?
No.
Okay.
Interestingly, though, when you search for alligator support animal, this guy is all over the internet because he is a real dude that has an alligator as his emotional support animal.
I quit.
So I just picked one of 5 million different pictures of this guy that's out there because this is a real thing, at least for this guy.
He had to have raised it as a baby.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that you can even raise an alligator to have any sort of manners whatsoever. Because, I mean, reptiles are not known for that. Like, you can raise a rattlesnake from a baby. He's still going to bite your ass if he gets a chance to.
Yep.
Like, they're not really known as the warm and fuzzies.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this guy actually has one. So what's the other one?
I kind of want to give it a hug if I could, but
you're out of your mind.
I mean, if it was chill, I'd hug an alligator.
I do not do reptiles.
I hugged a turtle at Reptile Gardens.
Turtles are a little different. I still wouldn't hug one, but they don't eat you unless it's a snapping turtle, in which case you're out of your mind if you hug one of those too. But so what is the official one? It's not emotional. It's a therapy animal, right?
There is
official.
The official is there's people out there screaming at us right now because they know what it is.
Like the real one, not the one that everybody gets. Yeah, service animal. So do you know what you can actually have as far as an official service animal?
I know that you're looking for something weird, and I did hear something the other day, but for some reason I can't remember what it was.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
A miniature horse. That is the official weird-ass technical, what'd you call it?
Service animal.
Service animal. Yes. It's a dog. There's a dog. I think there's 3. I know one's a dog, obviously.
Yeah.
And one of them's a miniature horse. So somebody has a miniature horse as their service animal. They have to be able to take it on a plane. You have to be able.
Kind of want to see that.
They have to like rent an apartment to you with your horse.
With your miniature horse.
I mean, I've never seen it. I doubt that it's really used much, but it is official legal language because there is a legal distinction of an actual service animal that really falls into that.
Yeah.
And then there's this bullshit. I went online and got a certificate that my dog is emotional support. That's all bullshit. Sorry if I offend anybody, but legally it's bullshit. Like the service animal is the legal type of I'm blind and this is a seeing eye dog type thing.
Like, because there's animals that can smell if you're going to have a seizure. There's animals that can tell. That is still a service dog.
It's a dog. But like I said, I think there's only 3. I think there's only the 3 animals that could legally be classified as service animals. One's obviously a dog and one's a miniature horse. I can't remember what the other one is, but it wasn't weird. But the horse one is weird. I can see it. It
wouldn't be a cat because you can't train a cat to do a damn thing.
No, cats train you.
Yeah, cats own you. It's just that's the way it is.
I mean, Paul Harvey said that, like a dog looks at you and admires you and loves you and he sees you as the most amazing thing ever in the history of the world. And cats look at you as their staff.
Yes.
And he was dead on right about that.
Yes, he is.
But, I can understand the horse thing. Like, they'd be great for,
well, yeah.
I think you could train them to be like a seeing eye horse, you know what I mean? And they can carry burdens that even a dog can carry.
Yeah.
And they can carry significant weight, I mean, a miniature horse obviously can't pack the same thing that a full-grown horse can pack, but I mean, they can carry a lot of weight. They could do a lot of stuff. So I could see them being very, very helpful. I just don't know about the potty training aspect of a horse. Yeah. I mean, I've been around horses my whole life. I've never attempted to potty train one. Never really had a reason to try. But I don't know about the possibility of that. That is one thing I've always wondered because
you don't have enough time to try.
I do not have enough
time to try.
I do not. So,
however, when you retire, I may expect a potty trained horse.
Well, you can expect all you want to. You're still not going to get it. So, can we get emotional support gators certified through TSA? Just asking for a future headline.
No, because they would cause a scene seeing their relatives used as suitcases.
Oh, you think? But horses don't do that.
Well, no.
Interesting take on that one.
You ruined my joke, man.
So, how exactly do you bond with a gator? Shared trauma? A love for raw chicken?
Scales?
I mean, I gotta say, I just don't believe it, man. I just like the dude in the picture, not the psycho that stole the alligator, but the dude in the picture really does have.
Yeah, and they're like hugging, and it made me want to hug an alligator.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's a thing, but man, I don't think you could ever turn your back on it.
No, it would definitely sleep in a different room.
I mean, it's like these people that have lions and tigers and shit like that.
Right.
I mean, yeah, but I would never turn my back. I would have no interest whatsoever because I don't trust that shit, man. Wolves?
No.
No way.
The only way is those stories that you see that, like, they find them near death as so small they shouldn't be away from their mothers, and they raise them from there.
It still doesn't work.
Maybe.
I mean, you still hear stories.
I know, but maybe that's when.
I mean, I can understand, like, the people that are doing it. Like, if you raise a bear, for instance, and they're all lovey-dovey, because they're out there, they're in movies and shit all the time. There's all kinds of videos of these bears that are just, like, really awesome and all this, and I
recognize their trainers after years. And
yeah, I can understand, like, the trainers becoming attached. I mean, I have that in me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I become super attached to animals and stuff, so I get it. But for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get myself a lion and raise it in my bathroom, not gonna happen. Although when I was a kid, we were camping up in Montana, up near the Canadian border, and we're sitting at this picnic table, and this baby bobcat comes walking along and jumps up on the table, and I start petting it, and then it jumped up on my shoulder and was like crawling around my neck.
Like, it loves me. It has to come home.
Pictures of this thing like crawling all over my neck and stuff. I mean, obviously someone had probably caught it and kept it, and then it started probably killing their freaking pets or something, and they were like, this thing's got to go. But oh, I wanted that thing so bad. I just had visions of walking down Main Street leading my bobcat, and Dad was like, oh, hell no. That thing ain't coming. No. But so I can definitely understand it, and I've always regretted that because I've always thought that would have been so damn cool to have a bobcat. And it probably died because it almost certainly had to have been raised by people, but it made for some great pictures. I got to tell you.
I can imagine.
If this guy wrote a memoir, would it be, quote, to have and to hold an alligator?
Yes.
I think so too.
Yes.
All right, and then we have Missouri man writes demand note on birth certificate while robbing bank.
His own?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that is actually him. So,
wow.
A criminal walked into a bank, demanded cash via handwritten note, but accidentally wrote it on the back of his own birth certificate, which he left behind at the scene. So, the details? This masterclass in criminal self-sabotage took place in Cleveland, Ohio, where Michael Harrell, age 54, handed a teller a note demanding money. The note was written on the back of a document that included his full name and date of birth. Surveillance cameras caught him clearly, but it was the paper trail, literally, that sealed his fate. FBI agents said it was the easiest ID job in memory. When arrested, Harrell allegedly said that he didn't think it mattered what he wrote the note on.
Oh
my take. My take? Imagine planning a whole robbery and then self-doxing like it's your first day on the internet. The man committed identity fraud against himself. Honestly, I'd be more impressed if he robbed the bank using his baby photo and a copy of his media school report card. His middle school report card. And I mean, the dude just looks like a brain surgeon. He looks like one of the dumbest human beings ever.
I can't look away, but I'm terrified.
I don't know what this shit is that he's got tattooed down his throat, but that's interesting too.
Probably his social security number?
Probably. So, was this a robbery or just a bizarre form of adult show and tell?
Oh my God. This is when I was born. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's hard to believe somebody could actually be this stupid, but
they're out there.
They're out there.
And they're doing drugs.
So, should the judge reduce his sentence out of sheer pity or double it for stupidity?
Double. We don't need him walking around out there.
I agree. I mean, I think the judges have got to look at some of these people and be like, you know what? I'm afraid you're going to hurt yourself if I let you out.
I think you're going to finger paint for the rest of your life.
I think you just have to do life in prison because I'm afraid you might, step in front of a moving vehicle or something, walk into an open manhole or something. So what's next? Robbing a store using a resume as your getaway note?
Yes, like the car guy.
Car guy?
They need to get together.
They do need to get together.
I like it.
Yeah. And now is time for our weird shit section.
Weird shit.
So weird shit number 1, the octopus that can edit its own RNA.
Mm-hmm.
So unlike humans who are stuck with the DNA that we've got, octopuses can rewrite their genetic instructions on the fly, literally editing their RNA to adapt to extreme environments.
I'm a tad jealous.
Yeah, me too. Marine biologists discovered that octopuses, especially those in frigid waters, can drastically alter how their genes are expressed by editing RNA rather than waiting for evolution to do the job. What?
Did you find another one just so we can argue if it's octopi or octopuses?
It's octopuses because the internet says so.
Must be true. Okay, go ahead.
This allows them to instantly tweak proteins, optimize brain function in different temperatures, and basically MacGyver themselves into different versions of octopus. Some scientists think this flexibility might explain their intelligence and why they behave like weird alien geniuses from the deep. My take? Octopuses rewriting their biology like they've got a premium chat GPT subscription and zero patience. Meanwhile, I can't even fix a typo in a tweet without deleting the whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
These tentacled brain blobs are out here remixing themselves like Spotify playlists.
I just got so jealous that I bit my lip and I can't regenerate it.
I know, that's the other thing they can do.
Damn it.
So are octopuses just beta versions of aliens sent to test Earth's oceans?
I really do think so. Because have you seen the things that they can do in the tiny places?
They're pretty amazing, and they're pretty smart.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm a little pissed off, to be honest.
Like, some of the critters are pretty damn smart.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs we know are smart. Dolphins are brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's pretty crazy. The animal world is amazing. It really is. So if they can edit their own RNA, do they also judge our evolutionary laziness?
Oh, I bet so.
I bet so too. I mean, and they could eat us.
I bet so. They just sit there and like dumbass people floating around.
And like the whole giant squid thing that like swallows ships and shit like that, I'm pretty sure that's real.
Oh, I've seen a lot of videos on, yeah. And that was before a lot of the AI. I mean, I know some of them could probably be fake, but some of them mind-numbingly boring until you see it. And there's no, like, cut editing.
Right. Like, I know,
So-
like, giant squid exist.
Yeah.
They've been filmed and shit, but, like, stories of them, like, eating entire ships date back, I mean,
Reckon.
thousands of years, literally. They go, I mean, it goes way, way
They
back.
already told us all about it.
Yep. That's pretty crazy. So when are we getting the Pixar movie where an octopus writes itself a better ending?
There you go.
See?
I think you should write that.
I've got plenty to write. Thank you very much.
Maybe I'll write that.
There you go.
I totally just had another The Ranch moment, though, and I don't want to say it because it requires me to drop an F-bomb. So,
All right. So weird shit number 2. Man claims he's been awake since 2004.
so have I, dude. Let's move on.
So a Vietnamese man has allegedly not slept in over 20 years after a sudden fever in 2004 made him a permanent insomniac. His only symptoms, extreme boredom. Thai Ngok, a farmer in Vietnam, claims that after recovering from a bout of fever in 2004, he completely lost the ability to sleep. Despite this, he reports no physical health problems, though he says life has become monotonous and lonely. Doctors who examined him were baffled. Some even stayed overnight to watch, confirming he did not sleep. He reportedly fills his time doing nighttime farm work, listening to radio, and hoping for just one yawn. My take? Forget the Red Bull. This guy is living proof that if your body gets annoyed enough, it just skips rest entirely. Honestly, I get cranky after 5 hours of sleep. This man hasn't napped since the Bush administration and just goes around weeding at 3 a.m. like it's a wellness trend.
Yep.
So, first of all, thoughts on this?
I kind of feel like you're on your way there.
Yeah. I don't sleep a lot, but my opinion on this is he sleeps. He might not even know he sleeps, but he sleeps.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that House episode with the chick that can't sleep?
I've seen all the House episodes.
Then you've seen it. And she can't sleep. And then Dr. House is like, they prove that she like has mini naps. She doesn't even realize
yeah.
it. And I'm not taking my medical advice from House, but
I do.
I think something, I think that's real. That could happen. That the dude probably is sleeping without knowing he's sleeping. And he's probably not falling into like a deep sleep like, some of us dream for, but he's sleeping. His body is not existing on no sleep. I just don't believe
if
it.
He's doing the monotonous weeding every day, it's probably like a
almost sleepwalking thing. Yeah. And I know that they said like the doctors like observed him and stuff, but I don't know because I don't research these stories.
I'd believe them more if they lived with him for like a month and...
Well, I still wouldn't believe them. I'd believe them more if they hooked him up to brain scans and actually witnessed his brain activity during all of that time.
That's true.
Because you can do a lot of shit while you're asleep.
That's true too.
There has been people commit murder in their sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So, weeding a garden... I mean, there's a guy that murdered his wife and rolled her into the swimming pool. Unless that was an episode of a show. I'm pretty sure that was...
John needs more sleep because now he's not so sure.
But is this man the final boss of caffeine addiction?
Yes.
And what playlist do you listen to after 6,000 consecutive nights of consciousness? You better get this one right.
What playlist do you listen to? Podcasts.
Dark Dialogue.
Dark Dialogue.
That's what freaking playlist.
Somebody write to him.
Well, I don't know. We don't speak very good Vietnamese, but
no, just a little Chinese, which I did last time.
I would say, can someone get this man a melatonin sponsorship deal?
No doubt.
But melatonin doesn't do shit.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me anyway. I know it does for some people, but it don't do anything.
It makes me ill.
It doesn't do anything to me.
Makes me sick.
I could take the whole damn bottle and just carry on like nothing.
I don't sleep, but I'll get dizzy and super nauseous and very regretful for the next several hours.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, it doesn't do anything. Nothing for me. Nothing. I do enjoy the little gummies, though. I used to keep them by my bed just so as like a sweet little treat. They didn't actually do anything.
Dessert melatonin.
You just tasted good.
Love it.
So you have like a gummy bear before bed. So that was kind of cool. Other than that, they don't do shit.
John's reliving his childhood with melatonin gummies.
I was in my childhood. That was like last year.
I said reliving his childhood.
Oh, no, we didn't have gummy bears when I was a kid. I didn't discover them until later in life. I had gummy worms on occasion.
Yeah.
All right, so weird shit number 3. The Beast of Bray Road, Wisconsin's werewolf. This one's weird as shit.
Okay. I'm ready. Ooh.
That's actual picture. Sightings of the bipedal wolf-like creature near Elkhorn, Wisconsin have terrified locals since the late 1980s.
It's like a deer with a mohawk.
It's hairy, it's hulking, and it's definitely not part of the tourism board's official brochure.
Should be.
The Beast of Bray Road has been described as a 6 to 7 foot tall wolfman hybrid, walking on two legs with glowing eyes and a serious case of road rage. Eyewitnesses have reported it chasing cars, standing upright in cornfields, or even rifling through roadkill like it's doing cryptid-level meal prep. The sightings became so common in the 90s that local newspaper reporter Linda Godfrey began investigating, eventually publishing a book that gave the creature national attention. Some believe it's a flesh and blood cryptid. Others think it's a spiritual or dimensional entity. My take? Bigfoot walked so this guy could sprint directly at your car hood. This isn't your cuddly forest cryptid. It's a steroidal German shepherd with opposable thumbs and unresolved trauma. Also, what's it doing in Wisconsin? Is it powered by cheese curds and beer?
Yes.
So that's an actual picture. I mean, I don't know if it's an actual picture, but
New meaning to rabid packer phone.
right?
Somebody's gonna hate me for that one.
I mean, it's a weird ass looking thing, whatever the heck it is.
I can't. It feels like it has a mohawk.
What?
I feel like I see a spiky mohawk thing happening.
You see ears. It looks like a wolf head to me.
Oh no.
It definitely does. Of course, I blow it up so it distorts it when I make it as big as I do. But yeah, we shouldn't talk too much about the picture because the people that are listening are like, "Hey, asshats, we can't see it." So if it walks on two legs, does that mean it pays taxes or just evades them better than the rest of us?
Better than the rest of us.
I mean, I don't know what to think about this thing, honestly. I've never heard of it before, but just the little bit I looked into it, it's plausible. And I mean, there's a shit ton of wolves in that area, Wisconsin,
right?
You know, up in that area. There's a lot of wolves up there. I'm not saying that this thing is a wolf, but it looks like a wolf, but it walks on its hind legs.
So does my Chihuahua.
But then you go to like your Chihuahua doesn't walk on its hind legs all the time.
She can walk.
It already roll out into traffic on its hind legs.
That's true.
But like, I don't know, like the whole skinwalker thing, I've talked about this before, but there's that whole wolf component to that story where there's like this wolf thing. And then where's that other story that we talked about on one of our other episodes of some haunting in Tennessee, I think, that started with a wolf that they tried to kill and couldn't kill or whatever. You knew about the story.
Was it the Bell Witch?
Some cabin in Tennessee or some shit. I don't know. That's more your world than mine.
I don't know. I don't think the Bell Witch had a wolf in it.
Anyway, all I know is it would just creep me the hell out if I saw this thing on the side of the road. Should Wisconsin just rename it Werewolf County and lean for the Halloween tourism?
Yes.
I agree. Like, I would be marketing the shit out of this thing if I was Wisconsin's tourism department, because people would come, man. People would come to see the freaking Bigfoot hunters. They go all over the place.
How many people go try to see Loch Ness?
Right?
All sorts.
And is roadkill technically fast food for cryptids?
Yes.
And you know, this is one of the things that makes this one more believable than a lot, is it's acting like a wolf or something would act. It's seen eating roadkill and doing shit that an animal would do naturally.
Yeah.
So it does make it a little bit easier to believe, you know, because if it was a wolf-like creature, that's what it would be doing, is be like running out there killing things or eating things that were already dead, you know?
Yeah, just waiting for people to kill dessert.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a crazy one. Weird shit number 4. The ghost of Hammersmith a haunting that caused a legal precedent.
Interesting.
So, in 1803 London, a ghost sighting led to such widespread panic that a man shot someone that he thought was the ghost. The trial that followed set a legal precedent still referenced today. The details? In the Hammersmith district of London, locals were terrified by reports of a ghost haunting the churchyard. Witnesses described a figure in white with glowing eyes, said to be the spirit of a suicide buried in the consecrated ground. Enter Francis Smith, an excitable night watchman who shot and killed Thomas Millwood, a local man wearing white clothing, who he mistook for the ghost. Smith was convicted of manslaughter, sparking one of England's first legal debates on whether belief in the supernatural could justify lethal force. The incident also became one of the earliest true crime meets ghost story crossovers in print media. My take? This is peak Regency era panic. I thought he was a ghost, so I musketed him. We're lucky this didn't happen during pumpkin spice season, or we'd have a pumpkin ghost on trial next. Also, somewhere in the afterlife, that poor guy's spirit is stuck going, really? You thought I was a ghost just because I wear linen? So, should every court case include the defense? But, Your Honor, I thought it was a ghost.
I know a lot of them have heard it.
I mean, this is absurd to me. Like, if you're that scared, don't become a night watchman.
Yeah. And what do you think a musket's actually going to do to a ghost?
Exactly. That was
Not
my other
much.
thing is, like, you know, I talk about carrying all the time and stuff like that, but I ain't shooting a ghost. What the hell's the point? And I've seen shit that scared the bejesus out of me, but I never pulled my gun because what the hell's it going to do?
Right. I don't know.
So is this the first recorded case of ghost profiling?
Possibly. Why is it always London? Why does London always get the cool ghosts?
Well, I think, and we've said this before, but I think that it's the history of the place, man. If you believe in ghosts, then London would be a place for them.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how many people have died in that city in the last, I don't even know. I don't know when London was actually settled. We'd have to look, but we're talking way before the English.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the Celts settled in that area long before the, and Germanic tribes and stuff like that settled. I mean, we're talking way back, like definitely during the times of Christ. I mean, you're talking before that. I don't know. I don't know like that old of history of London, but we're talking old.
Yeah.
And then when you get to, you know, like the Tower of London, I'm not entirely sure when that was constructed, but that was a long time ago. And you think of the number of people put to death in London?
Yeah.
Just the people put to death.
Oh.
And then all the people that have been murdered there, all the people that have died of natural causes. I mean, you talk about a city that is steeped in some gory history.
Yeah.
London's, I mean, all those old European cities that date back to the medieval times and stuff and before, they have very gory histories. And I know I've referenced it before, but, you know, you, like Nero lighting the courtyards with the bodies of burning Christians, and, you know, you've got Henry VIII in England cutting heads.
He was fun.
Yeah. But then you got his daughter, Bloody Mary.
Yep.
And everybody that she killed. I mean, and then France is no different. You've got the same thing going on in France. You've got the same shit went on in Russia. You've got the same thing that went on in Scotland. I mean, all of those old places. But if you believe in ghosts, then that's why they got a shit ton of them, because there's a lot of
get on a plane someday.
Yeah, I definitely want to go over there and see a lot of that history. I'm enamored by history anyway, but I mean, some of that history is just fascinating to me. It's just so cool. So can ghosts file wrongful death suits?
Why not?
It's interesting. It's an interesting concept because we did talk about the case where basically the ghost led to the prosecution of the murderer, right? So if a ghost appeared to somebody and gave them information, I don't know. It's an interesting thought for sure.
Like it.
Weird shit number 5, TikTok house haunting. Something walks the halls at 3:33 a.m.
Check out.
A group of influencers renting a home in Utah claimed that they were stalked by a supernatural entity. The events were live streamed, and skeptics and believers alike were left wondering, real or expertly timed content drop? So in 2013, the details. In 2023, the TikTok collective known as the Rift House began posting videos documenting strange phenomena. Doors opening, lights flickering, whispered voices in empty rooms, and most chilling, a dark silhouette seen pacing their hallway at 3:33 a.m. nightly. One video appeared to capture the shadow figure peering into a room before disappearing. While some commenters accused them of fabricating the footage for views, others noticed that the post became more frantic over time. The group ended the lease abruptly, citing, quote, an unsafe atmosphere. And one member reportedly left social media entirely. My take? Imagine trying to do thirst traps and ghost evictions in the same house. Hey guys, it's day 19 of our possession arc. Don't forget a like, comment, and smudge the hallway. Ghost or not, nothing scarier than Gen Z's seance conducted via ring light. So, first of all, what are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I believe in ghosts, so it'll happen.
I believe in ghosts. As soon as I hear TikTok, I become...
But it's not TikTok. Yeah. It's not the ghost's fault. These are TikTok influencers.
No, but when it's captured by somebody that can benefit from capturing it,
true,
then I become more skeptical immediately.
Even when the one dude just left social media altogether.
I don't know. I researched just enough to put this together. I would have to really dig into it and see if that's true or not. Again, Blair Witch fooled me. It will not happen again.
No.
I suspect all of them are liars until it's proven otherwise, because I just don't buy their shit. And there's so much garbage on TikTok. I ain't attacking TikTok as a platform. I'm just saying the shit that comes out on there, and people are like, oh my God, there's this snake in the Amazon that's 16 miles long. Bullshit. Come on.
Oh, I want it to be real.
So, all of this kind of stuff, and I don't know how to do it, but they can make shit on video look very real. And now there's like the whole AI. I don't know exactly how they do it. I don't know.
Don't trust anymore.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know who to trust anymore. But I do know that when it pops up on TikTok, immediately I'm questioning it. It doesn't matter what it is. The second it pops up and it's a TikTok, I'm like, I don't know about this shit. I don't know about this. Or, Facebook is no different. When I see a Facebook post or video, I'm always like, I don't know. And if I'm interested in it, then I have to go look it up in other reputable sources to see if it's actually real.
I always check news sources that I trust.
Ish, as much as you can. But Fox News or even like CNN, it's not my favorite. But even still, if you see a story and you go find it on CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox News, any of those,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, maybe there's some truth to this. But, there's a shit ton of stuff that pops up on Facebook that it looks like a legitimate news story, and you like click on it or whatever, and it looks legit, and then you go try to search it, and there ain't shit ain't nowhere.
Yeah.
Or it pops up and it's like, this is a hoax story that was created, blah, 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 and so I just don't trust social media in general.
And don't click on those stories because they're usually a virus or something.
It's usually bullshit. Yeah, it's whatever. It's clickbait, nonsense, whatever. So I don't know about this one. I didn't watch the videos. Full disclosure, I didn't watch the videos, so I don't know what they show, but it always just makes me stop and go, yeah, I don't know about this one. So,
Yeah.
what happens when the ghost gets its own sponsorship deal?
It's a sad little TikTokers cry.
Well, see, and the other issue that I have with these, and quite frankly, the Amityville house comes right into this too, is what about the people before the TikTokers and the people after the TikTokers? Now, we know people own and live in the Amityville horror house today and say
The Conjuring house and
all of them, and they say, we ain't had no shit happen.
oh no, Conjuring people have said shit has happened.
The Amityville people have said, there ain't no shit happened here.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It happened the only people it ever happened to
DeFeo's Lutzes.
were the Lutzes. The DeFeos were murdered in the house.
Well, yeah.
And there was only claims because Ronnie DeFeo was trying to get away with it.
Okay.
And so he brought up this whole bullshit thing during his trial. I don't believe it. I've researched that part of that case quite a bit. He was a piece of shit that wanted his family out of the picture because he was worthless and he didn't want to have to show up to work on time and stuff like that. So I don't buy that there was any kind of paranormal shit going on with him at all. So it's just the Lutzes. And there is some stuff with the Lutzes that is kind of convincing. So could be true. I don't know. But it is questionable that then other people move in and they're like, there ain't nothing ever happened here. It's been owned by multiple people since the Lutzes left it, and none of them have reported shit happening.
That makes me sad.
So it's, but I mean, that doesn't disprove anything.
Right.
Because certain people are more susceptible to it than others, for sure. And
They're hiding it because they don't want to deal with it.
yeah, or I mean, there is the reality that's like, okay, so you and me walking down the hall or whatever, and some shadow figure runs in front of us, you're very likely to be like, holy shit, did you just see that thing? There was like a shadow figure, and I'm more inclined to be like, that was kind of strange. There must have been a car drive by outside and cast a shadow or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's very possible that people live in a house and there's shit that happens, but they're just like, oh, this house has its quirks, I don't know, it must be the settling or something, when it's actually like some creepy ass ghost.
Really old house, and it does,
Yeah, so I don't know, but it always makes me question it when it's just like, the house has been here for so long, nobody ever complained about anything. TikTokers come in and rent it for however long, and they're capturing ghost shit happening, and it scares them so bad they have to leave, and then the next people come in and rent it and nothing. I don't know. It's not proof of anything, but it does make me question things that make you go, If your house is haunted, but your engagement goes up, do you renew your lease?
That's a tough one.
I mean, for me, I guess it wouldn't really have any, if it is a ghost, I'm not so sure that it's going to bother me that much, honestly.
I mean, what's it doing at 3:33 in the morning? It was just walking around.
Sounds like it, yeah.
So
if it's like poltergeist shit, like it's throwaway stuff and attacking me and stuff, my ass is out the door, least be damned.
yeah.
But if it's just like a ghost, it's like you just see some weird shit once in a while. I've lived in houses where that occurs. And I mean, you kind of get used to it, as weird as that might sound.
Because you've lived in houses with haunted dolls, and that's just disgusting.
Just because they're dolls is why it bothers you. But
after
I don't know. I mean, I do think that you can get just used to that shit. I mean, I don't think there are people that are just like, oh, paying attention to that. That's George.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he walks the halls at 3 every morning, so just ignore him.
Yeah.
He won't hurt you. That shit happens.
Yeah.
There are people that live happily with ghosts and never, it just doesn't bother them.
And there are mediums who say that they're just your spirit guides.
There's that claim, yes. There's the claim that, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a tape. Like the earth or whatever, like records this moment in history, and it just replays the same scene, the same time every day.
Happens a lot attributed to limestone.
Yes, yeah. But it's not necessarily like what we traditionally think of as a haunting. It's just like a replay of the thing. So
residual haunting.
Yes, yeah, okay, so yeah, I think that's what it's called. I think you're right. So it's just like this dude just walks down the hall every night at 3 o'clock. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't even know you exist, because it's just like a weird ass
on his
bad rerun.
Yes.
Every night.
Yep.
And so I don't know, but something like that, it shit wouldn't bother me. Not once you get used to it. And if you like, I mean, you try to confront it and like Slimer slimes you, I'm out the freaking door. No thanks, had enough. Or like the old bitch in the library that turns into like this super creepy ass thing. I'm doing exactly what the Ghostbusters did. I'm dropping all my shit. I'm running out the library. Ain't never going back.
That book is worth that shit, man.
No book is worth that. But if it's just like you try to engage in it, just like walks through you and just keeps going and doesn't pay any attention, and it does it every night. I mean, I think eventually I just be like, oh yeah,
it's just
I named it Bob or Larry or Mo or Curly or whatever it is, and it doesn't bother me. I think that's how I would be. But that's it. That's all I've got for tonight. So I tried to write it a little bit longer this time around. I wrote a little bit more in there, so hopefully that was
a few more weird shits for us.
No, same amount of weird shits. But just a little bit more detail in them.
The look at your face.
What look was that?
Just so matter of fact. No, it was the same amount.
It was the same amount of shits. I'm telling you. I count them. You get 3. You get 1 of the weird headlines. You get 1 of the conspiracy quarter. You get 1 of the rubber rabbit hole. You get 3 dipshit diaries, and you get 5 weird shits. That's what you get every time. So, but I did try to write a little bit more detail into these ones, so hopefully that worked well.
I think so.
With that, that's all I have for you tonight. So, we encourage you.
I have more, but I can't stop laughing.
If you like what we do and how we do it, then we encourage you to give us a like and a follow. Share this episode with your friends. Maybe they'd get a kick out of it. I don't know. People have said that I'm funny. I don't really find myself as being funny, but I don't know.
I laugh a lot.
You do laugh a lot, yep. If you like what we do and how we do it, feel free to reach out to us and support us on Patreon. Buy us a coffee on Coffee. That's Kofi Coffee. Follow us and support us on Substack. We got a lot of stuff going on there. Check out our website at www.darkdialogue.com. And feel free to reach out to us with questions, critiques, case suggestions, or weird shit, or anything that you'd like us to discuss or talk about. And you can do that at info@darkdialogue.com. And with that, I think that's all that I have. We thank you for joining us tonight. I'm John.
I'm Angela.
Have a great night.